What I'm about to say, I can honestly say for the first time in my life and actually mean it. This is gonna be a long one. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Blu-ray update, which I haven't done for a long time. Normally I do these every 2 months, but I haven't done one since September of last year, and I don't really have a reason. I just kind of kept putting it off and, thinking to myself, I'll do it next month, and then next month came around and, I didn't do it. So, I'm going to do it this time round. I know it's not quite the end of this month, but I don't think there's anything else I'm going to be buying till the end of February, so I figured, look, what the hell, I'm just going to do it now. So, I have a really gigantic pile of movies here, so, pause this, go make yourself a coffee, grab some food, whatever you need to do, come and sit back down, and, let's go through this journey of things that I've purchased. So, I'm gonna start with the DVDs this time, because there's only a couple of things there. Normally I'll leave those till the end, but, I did buy some DVDs. So, first of all, there was this movie here, Private Parts. Now, this was the true story of Howard Stern and his rise to stardom, I guess. But I don't know why I bought it. It was just one of those movies that, when it came out back in the 90s, I really enjoyed it. I had no idea at the time who Howard Stern was. And look, I know he's a sexist, misogynistic pig, blah, 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 but there's just something about the guy, like his whole freedom of speech angle and just how he was just being himself and saying fuck you to everybody who tried to hold him down. So, I don't know. There was something about the guy's story that resonated with me. So, I wanted to see it again. And it's only available on DVD. Can't get that on Blu-ray. The other DVD box set that I got is a show called Coupling. This is a British show that went for 4 seasons, and I remember once upon a time, a friend and I, we sat down, we just turned the TV on, and there was this show with this ridiculously hot blonde in a pair of knee-high boots, and that was enough to get us hooked. And anyway, it turns out this show is absolutely amazing. It's been compared to Friends. Kind of, people say it's a British version of Friends, and it sort of is, except this one's actually funny. Sorry if you're a Friends fan. That was a low blow. Just forget I said that. This show is really, really good. And once upon a time, a girlfriend I was living with, we had the DVD sets, but she took them with her, and so I was always a little bit, about that. Anyway, I got Coupling. So very happy about that. All right. On to the Blu-rays. So, I've just flipped these around in kind of order of, oldest to newest. And by the way, I'm just doing this video, probably just in one whole thing. I'm going to try not to make any cuts just because I am really that lazy. Anyway, first one off here is, of course, the Batman Beyond Blu-ray box set that comes with a little pop vinyl Funko idiot, because, I don't know, I just don't like those things. I don't really need to go into this. I actually did a whole video just on this alone, back when it came out. So, I just love this show. Great box set. Few issues with it, but that was all talked about once upon a time. Next on my pile of Blu-rays, I got the 3D version of Aladdin, a movie that I know a lot of people didn't like it. I really enjoyed it. So shoot me. And I was really hanging to see the 3D version because, of course, Disney do not distribute 3D Blu-rays in Australia anymore. So, I have to get these from overseas, but I'm okay with that. And it did not disappoint, especially the Magic Carpet Ride. Oh, man, it looked exhilarating in 3D. So, I really enjoyed that. Speaking of Disney 3D Blu-rays, there's a few of those. So Toy Story 4, of course. Do I even need to say why I got that? It's freaking Toy Story 4. It was a 10 out of 10 from me. And again, in 3D, just amazing. Another one I got was, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, this was a movie that when it was in theaters, I distinctly remember thinking to myself, damn, this movie would look so good in 3D. And yeah, it really, really did. Especially like all of Mysterio's, illusions and stuff. Oh man, yeah, it looked really, really good. So yeah, very happy to have that in my MCU collection. Wow, this shows how old this pile of movies is. I got Chernobyl, of course, the TV miniseries that was just absolutely incredible. It was shocking. It was brutal. It was educational. It was, yeah, really fascinating. So many people have talked about it, but that was ages ago. So yeah, I've had it. You know, had I done this like many months ago, it would have been topical. I would have been like, hey, I just went and got Chernobyl, or Chernobyl. I don't know. How do you say it? Is it Chernobyl or Chernobyl? Let me know in the comments if you can, because it's an audible thing. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on. A movie that, it's going to be no surprise if you've been following my channel. If you know me, you know why I got this movie. And that, of course, is Midsommar, a movie that, when I saw it last year, when the end credits came up, I was just sitting there. I couldn't move from the seat. I was numb. This movie really got to me. Same with Ari Aster's previous film, of course, Hereditary, which I also love. Like, this guy, in my books, he is just like the #1 horror director working at the moment, and anything that guy does, you will find on my movie shelf. Alright, this is a movie that I had heard of the title, but I didn't know too much about it. And then a friend of mine, Adrian, who I'm not allowed to call him by his nickname AIDS, he was telling me about this movie, describing the plot to me, and it sounded so good. And that is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. He was telling me about the plot about these two hillbillies that are really nice guys, but this group of young people go, into the woods, same typical horror sort of thing. And it looks like these hillbillies are committing these murders and doing these horrible things, but they're just trying to help out. And yeah, it was a really enjoyable movie. I'm so glad I got this. So thanks, Adrian. Next one, we got Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw, which is still in its shrink wrap. I haven't opened it yet, but I have all the Fast and Furious movies, so of course I'm going to get this. And I really enjoyed it. It is so over the top. It is so stupid, but it knew what it was doing. Like, it knows it's a stupid movie. And yeah, I have respect for films like that. So yeah, I dug that one. Next one I got on here is The Cable Guy, which I saw it on one of the streaming platforms. I think it was Stan, maybe. I was just flipping through one night and I saw that on there. I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that movie in ages. And I watched it again and oh man, this movie is so freaking brilliant. And it was just one of those cases where I wanted to own it, like, for all you physical media collectors out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you want to hold the movie, you don't want it out in the ether. You want this tactile thing that you can actually hold and cherish for the rest of your days. So yeah, plus it was like, I don't know, $10 on eBay or something, so why not? Oh, next one is a movie that barely anybody has seen or has even heard of, and I stumbled upon this movie. Someone in a Facebook horror group or something was talking about it, and it sounded really intriguing. It's a movie called Compliance. Now, Compliance is based on a true story, and when I say true story, the details in this film actually happened. Like, yeah, it was so meticulously researched. But it was about this case in America where this guy was ringing up employees at fast food outlets or supermarkets or whatever, and getting managers to detain, like, beautiful looking girls, take them out the back, like, strip search them and do horrible things to them. And yeah, it was a movie that I was watching and I was thinking to myself, there's so much in this movie that had to have been exaggerated for the film. But then afterwards, I looked it up, did some research of my own, and yeah, sure enough, it all actually happened. Like, this is a really disturbing film in as much as it is completely true. But yeah, that's the world we live in. Okay, so there's one cut there because my camera only shoots in 12-minute rounds, so you know. Anyway, next one on the list is something that I don't know if I really needed this. Anyway, that is Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, seasons 1 and 2. This was a show that came out in the late 70s, I think it was. And I remember liking it as a kid, but there's a lot of things you like as a kid that, don't hold up to this day. Anyway, I was sitting there one day and the theme song for the show just came into my head. I don't know, I just started singing it in my head and I was like, oh man, I remember that show. And so anyway, I bought seasons 1 and 2 and it's not a good show. It's really cheap looking. It's kind of silly and I don't know. It's not great. So anyway, I think I've only watched about 3 episodes of season 1. I might get around to watching the rest of it one day. Who knows? I probably should, since I bought them. Yeah. So, one movie that I am a very big fan of course, is the original Japanese Ring, which is not only my #1 most favorite horror movie of all time, but it is also in my top 10 favorite movies ever made. And there was a guy who commented on my review of Ring, and he said something about how he can't wait to see what it looks like in high def, and I'm like, what? And I did some research. Anyway, it turns out the movie actually got a Blu-ray release, and it was the original cinematographer actually supervised the transfer from film negative to 4K and stuff, which got me immediately excited. So I jumped online. So I bought the box set of the 4 Ring movies, which looks absolutely incredible. Tons of new special features as well, which was the one thing that really got me going. And they're really good special features. But being that I'm that big a fan, while I was on there, I also found, oh my god, the crown jewel of my horror collection, or Japanese horror collection, Asian horror I should say. This is a Ring steelbook. Now, I don't know if I hold it really closely, it's going to blur, but this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a really cool little sort of collector's book and stuff with production notes and stuff. It is just an absolute treasured item for me, so love it. Moving on, I don't know why I bought this. Why did I buy? Oh, because I don't know, one day I started thinking about how great adaptation is. This is a movie that starred Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep. It was directed by Spike Jonze and written by Charlie Kaufman. If you don't know who Charlie Kaufman is, he's just one of the greatest screenwriters of all time. And between him and Spike Jonze, their sort of kooky loopiness combined, it's a strange movie. But it's really brilliant. And one day it just sort of popped into my head and I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that in ages. So I bought it. So there you go. Alrighty. Next one was I think it was my #4 movie of 2019, and that is, of course, The Nightingale, a movie that traumatized me so much in the cinemas. Even when I bought this, it took me weeks before I was actually able to watch it. There were some nights I actually grabbed it off the shelf, went downstairs, and I just couldn't do it. And watching it again, it is every bit as traumatizing as it was in the theaters. This movie, there's one scene in particular, and if you've seen the movie, you know which one I'm talking about. One scene in particular that is the hardest thing I've ever had to watch in a movie. In terms of human cruelty put into a film, it's up there with the very worst. So, but that being said, brilliant movie. The violence in the film is essential for the plot. So, absolutely love it. Next one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my second favorite Quentin Tarantino movie next to Pulp Fiction. This is what I get for not choosing to do any edits. yeah, probably don't really need to talk about this film. I thought it was brilliant. I love it. There you go. Another one that probably needs no introduction is John Wick 3. Although I didn't buy this when it first came out. Probably because I saw it a couple of times in the theaters, so I didn't really feel like I needed to see it again anytime soon, and clearly I still don't because it's still in its shrink wrap, but yeah, really good movie. I have the other two, so why would I not own that one? Next one, controversial, but it's Joker, a movie that everybody loved and now everybody hates, but fuck everybody, I still love it. So yeah, of course I'm gonna own it. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that one. Next one is a movie called Missing Link, which when this came out in the theaters, I saw the poster and it didn't do anything for me. I had no idea that this movie was actually produced by Leica Studios, who have done movies such as Kubo and the Two Strings, Coraline, etc., like stop motion animated films, and I love their stuff. And then, of course, this movie, it was like nominated for an Oscar and Golden Globes and everything. And I was like, oh, I probably need to see this movie. So yeah, I watched it. I didn't love it. I thought it was really good, and just the work that goes into their films. I mean, I watched all the special features and everything. Like, yeah, it's extraordinary how their films are made, and I was really happy just to support them by buying the film. But yeah, didn't think it was one of their better ones personally, but it's still good, you know. Next, this one. Why did I get this? I got the Purge 4-movie collection. Because... Why? I don't know. Because I already owned the first 3, and I meant to get the 4th one. And then... Yeah, it was... Oh, that's right. 2 for $30. I think I had to pick another movie. I think I bought something... and I was looking for a second film or whatever, and I picked this one up, and I thought, well... 4 movies for $15, and then like the other 3 I can, I don't know, sell it or something. I don't know what I was thinking. You know, sometimes I make bad decisions in life. So I got the Purge. They're not great movies, but I kind of enjoy them. I more enjoy the premise, that whole thing of like 24 hours of no laws. Like, yeah, that sort of fascinates me, that idea. So, anyway, there's that. Next one is a movie called Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth has Florence Pugh in it. And I watched it on Stan, and only because it had Florence in it. Like, I didn't really know too much about it, but it is a really brilliant movie. Nothing to do with actual Macbeth. But it's one of those movies that the hero of the film, or the main character, she's one of those people that does really terrible things, but it's kind of justified in a way. So even though she's kind of a despicable person, you're on her side, and I like that. I like anti-heroes, you know. So really good film. If you get to check it out, make sure you do. If you're in Australia, it's on Stan. Next one is a movie that I really enjoyed it in the theaters last year, and I had been continually thinking about it, like, ever since then, and couldn't wait to see it again. And that is Ready or Not, a movie that a lot of people really enjoyed, and we were all very surprised by how good it is. Samara Weaving is just a freaking legend as a horror movie, you know, I wouldn't say scream queen, more of a kick-ass hero, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, really, really great film. And I did watch it again, and it's really good. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of really good special features on it as well, which I was very happy about, because they just don't do that anymore, do they? Alrighty, coming down to the last few. Actually, let me just pick all of these up. Parasite. That's all I need to say. Another movie that I actually really quite enjoyed and was looking forward to seeing again was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There was just one of those kind of lightweight, sort of, you know, not real scary horror films, but I found it really enjoyable. I found the imagination behind it all and the production design and everything I thought was really bang on. So yeah, I really quite enjoyed that. Another one that I got that, got it on eBay because it was cheap, but the Suspiria remake, like, which I never thought I'd own, but because the original one is just such a brilliant film, but this one, it has stuck with me. Like, there were a lot of scenes that I did actually remember, and so I don't know, I thought I wouldn't mind seeing it again. So anyway, I bought that. Imagine, if you will, that I'm holding a Blu-ray of The Shining, because I bought a Blu-ray of The Shining, but I've lent it to someone, so it's not here right now. I do have it on DVD, but it's one of those movies that I figured needs a Blu-ray upgrade, so yeah, I have that. And I did get that around the time that Dr. Sleep came out. A movie that almost made it into my top 10 last year. Came so close. This movie was so surprisingly enjoyable. I really loved it and cannot wait to see it again. This is the director's cut version, which was the only version available. So, it'd be interesting to see what they have added to it. And there's the last cut you'll see because, I just ran into my other 12 minutes. But anyway, very last one I got. Now, this is a movie that a friend of mine recently was telling me about, and I didn't know what it was about or anything. That is Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I know it got a theatrical release, but I've never seen the show or anything. Still haven't. But he was telling me about this plot where the kids are trying to get their own superhero movie made, but in order to do so, they've got to eliminate the existence of all the current superheroes. So they go back through time and stop Bruce Wayne's parents from being killed and stop Krypton from blowing up and stuff. And I just thought that idea sounded so freaking cool. Anyway, I bought this and checked it out, and it is really enjoyable. I really dug the level of humor in this film. Didn't actually realize that the movie's on Netflix. Oopsies. So, I ended up buying it, but oh well, whatever. So that is the conclusion of all the stuff I have bought in the last 5 months. Yes, I will try and keep on top of this in the next 2 months, so it's not such a long video, but anyway, so thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, this journey through my cinematic masterpieces. Anyway, if you've bought something over the last few months or whatever that you're particularly proud of, let me know what it is, or if there's any of these movies that you want to talk about, go right ahead. I love doing this. I know a lot of these Blu-ray updates I come up with, people start chiming in and we get to talk about movies, so let's do just that. So fire away, drop me some comments either here, Facebook or Twitter. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.